Yeah, Caitlin Clark is not human. Like, she is by so much the best prime peak for peak guard in the WNBA offensively there's ever been. Yes, if you want to say peak was Chelsea Gray's playoffs, then sure. Sure. If you want to say somebody had a sample size of 10 games where they played like otherworldly, but also if you're judging by that sample size, then peak for peak, Chelsea Gray is the greatest player of all time. Chelsea Gray's 2022 playoffs is like, if you, by the way, just rewatch Chelsea Gray's playoffs, she was hitting the most dumb stuff you will ever see. Like, it wasn't even funny what Chelsea Gray did. But again, that was a playoffs. You're still taking, if you were asking pre those playoffs, who would you rather have on your team over an entire season? This version of Caitlin Clark or prime Chelsea Gray? You're choosing Caitlin Clark. You're choosing Caitlin Clark. And she tied yesterday. People are talking about her tying the record for most 20 points, 10 assist games in WNBA history. She actually broke another record, the most 25-point 10-game assists in WNBA history. She broke that one. And if you guys don't know about the 25 and 10 one, she held the record. Breanna tied her. She held the record. Someone tied the record, then she held it again. As a rookie. She held an all-time record as a rookie. She has now tied an all-time record for Courtney Vandersloot from 430 games in 42 games. In 42 games. Like, it was looking like she was going to go second all-time in triple-doubles last night. Like, Caitlin Clark, by the end of this season, is going to be second all-time in triple-doubles. And the only thing is that I think Alyssa Thomas might actually lead the WNBA in triple-doubles this season. Because Alyssa Thomas, just with the way the Phoenix Mercury play, she's like, Alyssa Thomas is a lot more likely to get 10 rebounds in a game than Caitlin Clark. And I think that Alyssa Thomas is more likely to get 10 assists in a game than Caitlin is to get 10 boards. But, like, we're seeing it now. Caitlin's camping for boards. So she's going to get a lot more boards because if teams don't crash teams are going to stop crashing the offensive glass against the Fever. If you guys don't realize like how guards get boards, is the smartest thing to do is to just let Caitlin camp out for the rebounds, like a little bit like a Russell Westbrook. Everybody else clear out the bigs, and Caitlin's a really good rebounding guard, so you allow Caitlin to rebound and push the break, and then whoever is guarding Caitlin, realistically, should just sprint back on defense because it's the most effective thing you can do because you have to stop the fast break. Because of that. It's it's one of those things where she's going to start averaging more triple doubles. Like, she's going to get 10 boards quite a lot. And like, Caitlin Clark had 10 assists yesterday. She had about, like, if you count, by the way, passes to fouls, they're not assists on the stat sheet, but it's the same difference. When you pass the ball to someone and they get fouled. When you pass the ball to someone, they get fouled. It's the same difference. It is the same difference. But it doesn't show him stat sheet. She probably is averaging close to 15 assists per game. She's probably averaging close to 15 assists plus passes to fouls this year, which is crazy. Which is absolutely she's just another level. Like, she generates open layups. Like, Aaliyah Boston, in fairness, did a really good job on some of those post moves. But like, if Natasha Howard had just caught the ball for a layup in the fourth quarter, if Bree Turner had just made those open layups she had gotten, like, she generates open layups, which is without question something that nobody else can do. And she's going to average close to 20 a game. Like, we saw Caitlin have an iffy game, and she had 27 points. She had 27 in what appeared to be an iffy, from the outside looking in, an iffy game offensively, and she took a quarter off. And she still had 27 points. Like, it's not normal what's happening. And as you can see by the fact that she has tied the all-time WNBA record for 20 and 10 games by Courtney Vandersloot, who has played since 2011. She has played since 2011. Caitlin Clark was 9 years old when Courtney Vandersloot was drafted into the WNBA. She was 9 years old, And she has now tied a record set by Sloot, who's still playing, by the way. Who is still playing. Like, it's mad. And by the end of the season, like last season, she has held a bunch of like rookie records and like the first person to do X, Y, and Z. By the end of this season, there are multiple all-time records she's going to hold or be top 2 of. Like, she's obviously going to have the record for highest assists per game average for her career. Obviously, at the end of the season. She could have the real record for highest assists per game in a season. And, by the way, people are like, oh, Courtney Vandersloot averaged 9.9 assists per game. No, she didn't. She did. In a 12-game season in the Wubble. I'm sorry. Cancel. If Caitlin averages more than 10 assists per game through 11 games, or through, 12 games, then she's played the same amount of games as Sloot played. I'm not counting a 12-game season. That's like a playoffs. It's literally like a playoffs. The Fever played more games after the Olympics than Sloot played that season. The real one is set by Courtney Vandersloot, but it's 9.2. 9.2 assists per game. 1 entire assist per game more than Caitlin Clark had last year. 1 more. Can she average 9.2 assists per game? More than likely. More than likely. I thought Caitlin's counting numbers were going to go down. They might at some stage, but there's no way that if her points go down, that her assists are going down. And again, maybe Caitlin will be a 20-point scorer and only average 7 assists per game for the year. However, it's something that's crazy. And also, by the way, Caitlin Clark now has a 3.5 assist to turnover ratio so far this season. She has a 3.5 assist to turnover ratio. So, but turnovers, you're not hearing much about that anymore. And also, she's now got a mid-range game. She's now able to create for herself in the mid-range. So the mid-range game isn't talked about anymore. The but turnovers isn't being talked about anymore. She's just offensively. And by the way, yes, they're better defensive guards. Offensively, she is the best she's the best. Jesus, I say best defensive. She's the best guard. Like, best point guard. Prime for prime, all time already. And that's not a knock on any of these other players. That's just how good Caitlin Clark is. She is peak for peak the greatest point guard offensively of all time. And I think you could argue peak for peak the best point guard of all time because of how much better she is offensively than anyone else. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with this? Do you guys disagree with this? Do you guys think that I'm gassing it? Because I really think I'm not. I really do not think I am right here, if I'm being honest. I think I am. This is the perfect level of hype that I think Caitlin Clark deserves by just how good of a player she is. So anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.